zoning board, planning board, the building inspector.
Okay. Got it. Mr. Baker Jr., I see you. What's going on, sir? Mike's
Unmute.
on. There we go. There we go. There we
Thank you.
go.
I'm doing just fine, and thank you for asking.
All right, so we got a 4 board. We got 4 board right now. Who are we waiting for? We're waiting for Steve and Tim.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Galley, here we go. Good evening, Mr. Galley. How you doing, sir?
Good, thank you.
Nice, 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 nice.
Sorry for the wait.
Let's see. We got 4 minutes. We're still waiting for Mr. Haynes. So
I'll be right back. Don't miss me.
got to do.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Got to unmute himself.
All right, everybody here, I got 7:30. Welcome everyone to the September 7th meeting of the Rockland Zoning Board of Appeals. All members and associate members are participating remotely. That is myself, Greg Tanzi, Bob Baker Jr., Bob Baker Sr., Mr. Tim Haynes, and Mr. Stephen Galley. I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion, need a second?
I'll second it.
I got a second. Roll call. Myself is yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Jr.,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Sr.,
Yes,
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
All right, voting on this is, again, we got a full board. Myself, Greg Tanzi, Bob Baker Jr., Bob Baker Sr., and Tim Haynes. Again, we got a full board. Myself, Greg Tanzi, Bob Baker Jr., Bob Baker Sr. All right, who's got something going double here? All right, I'll assume nobody now. All right, let's see. Let me read the advertising. 7:30. Remotely conducted public hearing will be held by the Rockland Zoning Board of Appeals on Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 at 7:30 on the application submitted by Lighthouse Development LLC for a variance and or special permits pursuant to section 415.22, 415.22.A1, size and design of parking spaces, 415.22.A2A, parking setbacks in residential zone, and 415.89 and or 415.89.1 to allow an alternate size and design of parking spaces and the applicant to maintain a parking area in the front yard of the premises known as and numbered 59 North Avenue, Rockland, Massachusetts. The property is located in the R2 residence zoning district, section 415-9 of the bylaw, and is further identified as lot 34-48-0 on the Rockland Assessors Map. The owner of the property is Lighthouse Development LLC, 59 North Avenue, Rockland, Massachusetts. The applicant and all interested parties are advised to check the town website and the zoning board's webpage for additional information and remote meeting details. Again, we did the voting members. Who is here from Lighthouse?
Good evening, William Eads from Drohan Totu Morgan, representing Lighthouse Development. Can you hear me all
How you
right?
doing, sir?
Can you hear me all right? Yes.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Never sure about these microphones. So I think you've covered the broad points of the application already. Sort of the additional details are the property is only an 8,462 square foot lot, which is improved with a 3,830 square foot commercial building. The only access to the property is from Garrity Court, which runs up the, I believe it's west side of the property. And the only parking existing on the lot is a pre-existing non-conforming lot located behind the building. We're obviously seeking the variances to allow a additional parking lot to be maintained in the front of the building. And obviously it would be within the front setback. We believe that it meets the requirements of section 415.89.1.b, I believe it is. Largely, some of the most important aspects are the sort of unique nature of the lot. As I said, that square footage means the commercial building covers 45% of the lot. And the existing parking does not provide sufficient parking to support the business that is located there. It's a busy, thriving business. And also the shape of the lot means that this is the only other place that sufficient parking can be found. No parking is allowed on street on North Avenue nor on Garrity Court. And also there are a significant number based on our review of other lots in the neighborhood. It's a mixed use sort of mix of residential and commercial lots in the neighborhood that are also use the front yard as parking. So we believe it would be appropriate to allow Lighthouse to do the same. If you have any other questions or anything else I can address, please let me know.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up to the board. Mr. Tanzi, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Well, when was the, well, what exactly is the nature of the building, the use of the building?
The building, it's, Lighthouse Development is electrical company, electrical engineering company. It was previously a Rockland Trust, I believe. The building itself was originally built in, I have down here 1900.
So but the use now, is it are they electrical contractor or do they,
Yes, yes, sorry.
so in the building, do they have supplies for I mean, I would imagine electrical vans would stock up with wires and switches and whatever gear and material and then head out to a job. Is that the use that I'm understanding?
My understanding is that would be accurate. I do not know these specifics of exactly the layout, interior layout or use of the rooms within the building, but yes, that is my understanding.
So what's the personnel that the number of personnel that stays there throughout the day when, fielding phone calls and whatnot, when the crews are out working?
I apologize. I don't actually know that off the top of my head. I can certainly find it out, but the applicant themselves, the representative of the company is not here today, and I don't have that information to hand, so I don't want to make any guess that's inaccurate.
Understood. That's an important question to answer, though. I mean, if it's a warehouse, are people coming in and leaving, and that's an important question that we need an answer to. I'm sorry, Greg, did you have anything else? I apologize.
Well, I was just wondering, when was the lawn converted to a gravel parking area?
I do not have that information. I believe it was recent. I don't have the specific date to hand. I know when I was reviewing some of the historical images, it was still grass and dirt and a few years ago. So I don't have the specific date that the gravel lot was installed to hand.
And you're seeking a variance for the parking lot lines, and in the notes on the plan, it said that the parking spaces would conform to the 30-70 rule of the bylaw, where 30% or less will be economy, and then the remaining 70% would be in the standard size parking lot. And it also talked about in the notes on the plan, a 23-foot aisle for backing up and maneuvering.
You're looking at the notes on the top, I guess I'd call it the top right corner if you were looking at the plan in a landscape format?
Yes,
I
correct.
believe that is just the quoting of the zoning bylaws as they stand. I don't think that's not
Okay.
a statement of intent.
Okay, so is there an intent of some type of a parking arrangement? And how many vehicles do you intend on, or do you hope to store in this parking lot that you're proposing?
So I will certainly find out the specific number. I think my understanding is the objective of requesting the variance from that requirement is to allow more than would be allowed under the typical lot lines in a typical parking lot.
That's understood. It's Mr. Eads, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Eads, I'll be honest, this isn't going very well for you. We have a lot of
understand.
questions that we are gonna need answered, and it sounds like the only way we're gonna do this is you can do one of, either way, it sounds like there's going to be a continuance involved. we have two ways to look at this. We can either go through the rest of the board members and get an entire list of questions, and you can get those questions answered either way, or you can have the actual applicant come in and answer the questions for himself and answer, kind of answer this directly. 'Cause
Absolutely.
The big thing is that we are going to need the plan as supplied doesn't show a parking design. So we kind of need to see that. So that's one thing that you may want to, talk to the engineer about, and get an actual design to us that shows how many cars, how you want to handle it, and go from there. I look at the board members and I say, guys, either way, this is going to be a continuance from what I can see. At this point, I would entertain a motion to continue.
Rob, before you do
date,
that-
time specific.
Before you do that, I have a couple of questions from Dave,
For who?
from Dave Taylor, Highway Superintendent.
From Dave Taylor. Okay.
Yes. This road is 75% engineered for reconstruction, total reconstruction, sidewalks, curbing, drainage. They need to find out where the county boundary is. He believes it's about 8 to 10 feet back from the backside of the sidewalk. So that land's gonna be taken when they do the street.
Not according to the plan. If you should, Bob, if you show him this plan, that's not where it is.
I talked to him today about it.
I understand. You show him a copy of this plan and you're gonna see that the hydrant, which is right at the back of the sidewalk, property line is probably like 1.5 to 2 feet tops behind the hydrant.
Okay, so they're gonna have to move their 10-foot buffer back.
No, they're not.
Well, how can they use the 10-foot buffer in the town property?
It's not on the town property. Look at the plan. Do you have the
See
plan?
that? Yeah.
All right, do you see the hydrant in the front yard?
To
See that
the,
front-
to the
see the
right.
hydrant?
Yeah,
You see the hydrant? That dashed line just to the south, that's the back of the sidewalk. Then you got the hydrant, and then you got the property line, which is about 1.5 to 2 feet behind the hydrant, tops. And then it's a 10-foot buffer. So do me a favor, show him this plan as done by Grady Consulting, correct? As done by
Correct.
Grady Consulting, stamped by Timothy R. Bennett, registered land surveyor. You'll have no problem figuring out where the boundary is from there. Next.
I'm sorry, Bob, are you telling us that we're gonna redo this street and take the sidewalk away?
no, they're gonna put sidewalks in. But the sidewalk's gonna move back a little bit for a grass strip.
The face can, not the back of it.
Right.
Okay, so it is what it is. It's not, they're not gonna, that doesn't affect the 10-foot buffer.
But it's not a 10-foot buffer though, right? That's what they should have, and they want a
That's what
variance.
exactly. So
Right now,
it's
the grass is like 3 feet there.
exactly. What else you got, Mr. Baker?
That's it.
Okay, again, I think it's best that we have the applicant here to be able to answer these questions, because so far we haven't even got through the first section of questions and we're not really getting anywhere. So I feel like it's better spent to just, again, entertain a motion for continuance, date and time specific, to get the applicant in here. I would entertain that motion.
So moved.
We've got a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
I got a second. Roll call. Myself is yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Senior,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Junior.
Yes.
Mr. Haynes,
Yeah.
Let's decide date now. Who's got calendar between Kim and Deb? Who's got a calendar up?
Let me go get it.
What month are we looking into? October, November?
Yeah, I got it. Where are we right now? Who's coming up? 21st is the big one, right? Okay, 21st is the big one. What else do we got?
18th, I think, right? Not the 21st.
Uh,
They switched it.
no, it can't be the 18th. 18th is Saturday.
The 21st is, the 21st
The
All right,
21st.
20
is the big
21st
one,
is the
yep.
big one. So then we're going to, so that's September,
October 5th to 19th.
the 5th and the 19th.
Yes.
Who knows what we got 5th and 19th? Deb, Kim,
Nothing, the calendar is clear, both dates.
I'll make it
Mr.
for October 5th.
Oh, wait, hold on, Mr. Eads, does that work for you? Does the 5th work for you?
I believe it will, yes. And I'll make sure we have, either I have the answers to all your questions or the applicant here. So
Yeah, and well, the point is that we're trying to do this, so you can get the applicant here. That way
Yeah.
you don't have to answer the questions, and when the other questions do come up, the surprise questions that always end up coming up, at least you'll have a team here between you and the applicant to be able to answer these.
I absolutely understand.
Again, if you're telling me that there's a chance that the applicant won't be here, then we're doing this for nothing.
I will do my utmost to make sure they're here. If they're not able to be there that day, I will reach right back out and let you know.
Okay.
that work? That's the best I can offer at this moment.
All right, somebody from the Lighthouse team should be here
Yes.
to answer these questions that understand the day-to-day business in this building.
Absolutely.
All right, so the 5th works, 7:30. Yeah, October 5th, 7:30. Whoever made the motion, would you like to amend the motion to incorporate the date?
I'll amend the motion to October 5th for the continuation of Lighthouse,
At 7:30.
7:30.
Perfect. Mr. Baker, Mr. Haynes, you second that? You still second? All right, I get a second. We're gonna go roll call again. Myself is yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker, Mr. Baker Senior,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Junior,
Yes.
and Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
All right. If there's any question, Mr. Eads, if there's any questions whatsoever, reach out to Deb Shuttlesworth, our secretary. And then if I have to, if I need to get involved, I will gladly get involved. Again, I know Grady Consulting very well. If they have any questions, they can feel free to, anybody over there, Darren, Rick, whoever, they can reach out. They have my number. So if there's any questions whatsoever, whatever I can do. Whatever I can do to make to help here.
Right.
It is what it is. So either way, we'll see you on the 5th at 7:30.
I appreciate your time and understanding tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Eads.
Thank you.
Believe me, I do understand. All right, we got 48, so I can actually start the next hearing. Let me just get the 7:45. Remotely conducted public hearing will be held by the Rockland Zoning Board of Appeals on Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 at 7:45 on the application submitted by Christopher O'Donnell, DBA O'Donnell Construction, for a variance and or special permits pursuant to section 415-22, 415-89, and or 415-89.1 to allow a 6x14 one-story addition at the premises known as and numbered 44 Clark Road, Rockland, Massachusetts. The property is located in the R2 residential zoning district, subsection 415-9 of the bylaw, and is further identified as lot 50-85-0 on the Rockland Assessor's maps. The owner of the property is Anthony Mari and Marie O'Donnell, 44 Clark Road, Rockland, Massachusetts. The applicant and all interested parties are advised to check the town website and the zoning board's webpage for additional information and remote details. Okay.
Reading.
Who are we speaking to tonight?
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell, how you doing, sir? What's going on?
Good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. How are you related here? Do you live at the premises?
No, I do not. I'm a contractor and it's my daughter's home.
All right. And we do it, and as a father of a daughter, we do everything that we can for our daughters, I understand.
Yes, we do, for free.
Absolutely.
If we know it's good for us, we do.
Mr.
Okay,
O'Donnell,
well,
talk to-
Let them look.
oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Mr. O'Donnell, just tell us what you're looking at to
Well,
do.
what we have is a situation with the laundry in the bathroom. I don't know if you guys have the picture of that up in front of you.
Mhm.
And we need another 1.5 feet in the bathroom to accommodate the laundry. And also, we can take the room out of her bedroom, which is already small. So we want to replace that by putting a 6x14 addition on the right-hand side of the house.
Okay.
And right now, we have 27.7 feet to the house. So if we go out the 6 feet, we'll be going into the setback 3.3 feet.
Mhm.
And that's what we're looking for, a variance to go into that 3.3 feet.
All right. Now, question I have, I was looking at the floor plans, and I'm trying to figure out, based on the floor plans, how this all fits together. I'm having a hard time. I don't know. I might be the only one. But I look at the proposed addition, and I just can't see how this fits in the existing house. So like that, the bump out, the bump out that you're looking for relief on, what is that?
That will be part of the bedroom.
That's part of the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. So where is, hold on. Let's see. So if that's part of the bedroom, then what's going on with I guess I'm trying to figure out why you can't put this out the back of the building and not ask for a variance.
Excuse me?
I'm trying to figure out why you can't put this out the back of the house and not ask for a variance.
Well, no, I'd still be asking for a variance in the back of the house because the setback is 50 feet. And
No, not on a corner lot. Corner lot is 15. Corner lot is 25 off the roads and 15 off the sides. Basically, you get because you're on a corner lot, you get the benefit of not having the typical 50-foot rear setback. You have 2 fronts and 2 sides.
well, if we were to put it, the bathroom is too narrow as it is. And if to put it in the back, you're just gonna make it longer and still narrow. It has to be wider to accommodate the washer and dryer.
So you're saying that there is physically no way to reconfigure it to put
We
it
have,
to
we
put it
have
in the
done,
back?
we have done at least 100 plans on this one washing machine.
Yep.
And this is the only way we could really figure out how to do it. Literally, we've done 100 plans on this.
Okay. My only issue is that we don't see these 100 plans. We only see what you're kind of showing us, and it really doesn't show the entire building. It only shows the 2 things that you're modifying. If you would show, if you could have showed us what you're modifying in relation to the existing building.
Well,
that
on the
I
first
can see
page,
that.
on the first page, we have the plot plan, and that shows the addition
Right.
right rear corner of the house.
Right, and the problem is that when you try to compare it to the architectural plans, you don't see the rest of the house, so you don't see how it all kind of comes together, and you don't see. You say you've done a couple different renditions with trying to modify it so it come out the back. We don't see that. If you
So
can
what are you
share-
looking to see? The other 99 plans we did?
No, I'm looking to find out why you need a variance, because currently right now, there's nothing that there's corner lots are not, they're not atypical in the town. There's corner lots all over the place. So it's not a reason to give a variance. We're trying to come up with a reason to give you a variance for this, and there is none.
Well, there is, to widen the bathroom, so we
Yeah,
can.
that's not a legal reason to give a variance. A legal reason would be a defect in the topography, in the soils, or the shape of the lot. And it's a relatively rectangular lot that just so happens to be a corner lot. And there are corner lots all over the place. In order to grant a variance, we need a legal reason in order to do it. If you can give me a legal reason to do it, or if one of my board members can come up with a legal reason to do it, then I'm all for it. But at this point right now, I don't see it.
I'm trying to think of a legal reason. I'm not a lawyer, so,
What I want to do while you're thinking about that, I want to open this up to the board and I want to get their opinion on it. Maybe they can help us. Maybe they can help us here. Mr. Tanzi, you want to step up here?
Yeah, it might be some structural issues, probably economic issues with coming out the back. I was looking through the floor plans, and it seems that if it came out the back, you'd have some. I think you'd have to do a major renovation, interior renovation. I'm not sure as if I was reading the plans correctly, but I think the intent is to work with the existing floor plan to make it flow.
Yes,
exactly.
we couldn't come up with a plan that fits everything.
Yeah, we really tried to come up with a plan that would not encroach on any boundaries, and we couldn't do it. And we spent 1,000 hours. I mean, these kids have spent a couple $1,000 already to get to this point here in front of you guys. So, no, we really tried to figure out a way to do this.
If we could
And this is the best
put it in
we
the
could come
back,
up
we
with.
would. What, it just doesn't work, doesn't work.
What's the square footage of the lots, of the lot? Oh, it's 9,077 square feet.
9,077, yeah.
Yeah, it's under, it's a small lot. It's under 10,000 square feet.
Whole house.
Hmm.
The house is also cited, if you notice, it's got 25 feet on the left side of the house. I mean, the house could have been built 10 feet over and they would have had plenty of room. But as it is, they centered the house on the lot when it was built. So they've already got sort of excess setback on one side. And so that existing condition from when the house was built has really tied their hands, I think, here.
And there is a 6-foot stockade fence around the yard. So the addition will not even be seen from the street.
Mr. Chairman?
Who was that? Mr. Baker Jr., what's going on?
Yeah, I honestly don't know if economic burden is something that we can consider. But I think what the applicants are trying to do is very simple and not particularly extreme in terms of design or construction. I think to require them to literally go back to the drawing board and do a more substantial, more extreme reconfiguration and rebuild, as Mr. Tanzi seems to have suggested, is not necessarily reasonable, would be unreasonable. We're looking at, as you say, a corner lot. We're looking at what, less than 4 feet to be lost to the right side. And I don't think that is at all, at least contrary to the spirit of the bylaws. I think to make the applicants go through the kind of reconstruction as hinted at by Mr. O'Donnell to keep things within the proper setbacks would be against, if not the letter of the bylaws, certainly the spirit of it.
I appreciate that. I All right, Mr. Tanzi, did you finish with your questions?
Yes.
You're finished, Mr. Baker.
Each.
Mr. Baker Senior, did you have any questions for the applicant?
Couple of quick ones. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't this backyard slope up?
Yes. Yes.
A little bit, yes.
And I believe that's all ledge. Here's your.
And that's
reason.
why we have Mr. Baker. All right, so he did, I'll be honest with you, Mr. O'Donnell, he just saved your day. All right, so Mr. Tanzi, you're good. Mr. Baker, thank you very much. Mr. Baker Jr., thank you very much. Mr. Haynes, talk to me.
So I'm inclined to support it. I'll just say that. I don't have any questions about it. I looked at the plans. What they're doing is, to me, seems the most sensible way to really fully enjoy property. This is a property that was built and it was sited on the lot at a different time when houses were used differently. And I think it's very reasonable to go 3 feet on a corner lot, still more than 20 feet left over. And so I think there's not a neighbor on that side. It's just, I think it's a very reasonable ask.
Thank you, Mr. Haynes. Mr. Galley, what do you got?
I just want to double check, at least as far as the letter of the law or bylaw, how much space are they technically supposed to have?
25 feet.
25 feet, okay.
Yeah, a corner lot. It's always been this way because if you look at it, it's basically, if you swing the radius, it's basically 25 feet off the street. It's been that way and it's been held that way for a while. We came up with physical diagrams of what the corner lot and the setbacks are, probably about 10 years ago. But the idea is that it's always been 25 feet off a street line, regardless of whether it was a corner lot or not. Regardless of whether it was a corner lot or not. But with a corner, it's always been 2 fronts and 2 sides.
And we will have over 22 feet.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Galley, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it. I was, well, the only thing I was going to say is that I'm not a voting member on this, but the only thing I did want to say is I wish the floor plan did show the whole house, just as a reference for, what the rest of the layout was, to say, we need to put the bathroom, like the new plumbing here, it's got to move a little bit. I would have liked to have seen what the rest of the house looked like. But that's not the end of the world, but just.
No, I absolutely agree with you, because it looks like, again, it's, if you're holding one line, if you're holding the wall and the entry to the bedroom in one place, it didn't really set well with me. But either way, as far as I'm concerned at this point, Mr. Baker Senior kind of saved the day on this one. I'm going to open this up to the public. Does anybody want to speak in favor of this? Hearing none. Does anybody want to speak opposed? I got none on either way. Mr. Rubel, got anything to say, sir?
That's the building inspector.
You're going to have to say it again because your microphone's not on. There we go.
Where is he?
I'm all set, Rob.
You're all set?
Yeah.
All right. And I did go kind of quick on the general public. I see Marie O'Donnell. Did you want to say, this is your house? Did you want to say anything?
Yep. Can you guys see me okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome. First of all, I want to thank you guys for your time here today. I appreciate it. Really, the moral of the story is that we need a little bit more room. We have a 1-year-old baby. We're looking to have, more kids, and I do a lot of laundry. I won't lie. So, being able to have that extra space in the bedroom to allow extra space in the bathroom for, more room for me to do that. Right now, we can't replace the machines. They're old. They're smaller. All the new machines on the market are much larger. And really, I'm just looking for, a little bit more space in my new bathroom for our growing family.
Absolutely understood. If there's nothing else from you, I'm going to open it back up to the public, make sure everybody's all set. And again, does anybody want to speak opposed? 1, 2, 3, hearing none. I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
I got a motion. I need a second.
Second,
I got a
Second.
second. That's Mr. Baker. I need a roll call. Myself is yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Senior,
yes.
Mr. Baker Junior,
Yes.
and Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't have my cheat sheet, so I'm gonna have to do oh, actually I do. Hold on. I got my cheat sheet. All right. That to do, open question, to rain, to do, hearing none, deliberate. Okay. So the board will deliberate tonight, and you're welcome to stay. You will receive a decision in the mail with a date stamp. 21 days from the date stamp on the decision. Go to the town clerk's office, request a certificate of no appeal. If no one has appealed, the town clerk will give you a certification and a copy of the original decision. Take those to the registry of deeds and have them recorded. One of the conditions is always to show the building department proof of recording. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the end, since you're kind of running point on this, Mr. O'Donnell,
Excuse me?
are you running point on this?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna assume this, so you're gonna be the one picking up the decision. You're gonna be the one recording it with the registry of deeds, and you're gonna be the one recording it, or basically supplying that to the building department when you go for your permit.
Yes.
Okay, as long as you know that. All right, so hearing is closed. Where do we stand now?
Motion to approve the variance. For the
I
top
got a
of,
motion. Do I got a second?
Second.
I got a second. Roll call. Myself is yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Jr., Mr. Baker Senior,
yes.
Mr. Baker Jr.,
Yes.
Mr. Haynes.
I'm gonna be a nudge for a second. I just say like, we're supposed to have, we must find all those conditions, for the variance. So I just want to make sure we're all, I'm in
Yeah,
support of the motion.
in the end, it's gonna be, what it's gonna come down to is, as far as I can see, what it's going to come down to is, what was mentioned by Mr. Baker Senior in relation to the topographical conditions and soil conditions
Unique
of the
conditions.
lot. So we gotta word it right, but I mean, that's the crux of it. It's gonna come down to the topographical and the soil conditions of the lot, make this an appropriate place to grant a variance, a 3.3 foot variance. Once we get the wording, Mr. Haynes, does that work for you?
Oh, yeah, I'm fully on board. I just want to make sure everybody was following
All right.
along, that we're making a specific finding. In
Oh,
this.
absolutely. No, absolutely.
And,
I appreciate you
yeah.
bringing that out. No, I definitely appreciate you bringing that out. O'Donnell's, you got your variance. Kim, you
Thank
recording
you.
this? No, absolutely no problem. If you want to hang out for a little while, I mean, you're gonna hear the exact, the exact terminology that we have to use in order to grant the variance. This is what I was talking about when it comes to legality. Kim, did you do like a quick type up of what Mr. Haynes was talking about?
What do you mean a quick type up?
Reason for the variance?
Well, I have what you just spoke of. I mean,
Okay.
past ones, we have variance type ups, but I don't have one right in front of me.
No, that's fine. Just as long
Okay.
as we've got the decent, the correct terminology. in
Yeah,
there,
the findings.
that we're
Yep.
granting that we are
Five
granting
findings.
this based on the topographical and soil conditions of the lot known as 44 Clark Road, right? 44 Clark Road.
And it's 3.3
Yep.
feet, right?
And do,
Yep, everybody concur on that one. The variance dimension is 3.3 feet.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
so we got a motion, we got a second, everybody agreed, over said and done with.
They also have to meet all other boards and commissions and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's stereotypical. That's stereotypical. One of the general conditions of all the, of all variances. All right, we've got, if that's all set, we've got other things that we have to attend to. O'Donnell's, you can take off if you want. Like I said, you guys are gonna get a copy of the decision in the mail. 21 days after that, you get the copy with the date stamp on it, that says no appeal. And then you record that one, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you
Not a
so
problem.
much. Have a great night.
You
Not a
too,
problem.
thank you.
Enjoy the evening. Thank you for coming. All right, so what do we got? Number 4, review and discuss revisions to ZBA application and instructions for a public hearing. Anybody got anything? Say no if it, be honest and say no if you don't, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got nothing. I have not had a second to look at anything.
Nor do I.
No,
Okay, so we're pushing it along. It's still on the drawing board. Not worried about that. Number 5,
I'll make a motion to table number 5.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I got a second. Roll call. Myself, yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Senior,
Yes,
Mr. Baker Junior,
Yes.
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Number 5 is tabled. Next, number 6, discussion on non-deliberative announcements and scheduling. I don't have anything. Does anybody have anything they need to talk about?
No, I don't.
I do. One quick
What do you
thing.
got?
That email we got on the training on 9/20/21. The boards
I
and
don't
commission
remember that.
training.
I
Huh?
don't remember that. What was
Came
that?
from Doug Lapham.
Yep. Bob Galvin's going to lead some training.
Oh. Is this a night? I guess I'm gonna have to look it back up. Was that a night
The
thing?
night
Was
after
that a-
Shingle Mills. The night after
Okay.
Shingle.
Time and date TBD.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The time and date to be determined.
No, it's the time. The date is fine in the time. It says
Oh,
boards
sorry,
and
it was
committee
location.
training 9/20/21 at 6 p.m.
Sorry, right. It was location.
Location to be determined.
Oh, location to be that's right. Mr. Haynes, I remember. Okay. I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know if that's been decided. Deb, you're still here. Deb, you're there. Have you heard anything about this?
No,
No? If you get a chance tomorrow, can you put a bug in Doug's ear to find out if this is still gonna happen?
okay,
Yeah.
And
if
I
it's
think
gonna be
that
in-
would be good for all of us to attend. And I do think that would be good. What else we got? Anything else? Nope. Approval of previous meeting minutes. I've got none, other than the last set of meeting minutes that we couldn't approve because that wasn't on the agenda.
Right.
Wasn't that the last meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
And we,
I'm good. I'm good with all the meeting minutes. I'm assuming everybody else had a chance to look at them.
Mhm.
yes,
Well, how many sets of minutes do we have pending for approval?
Kim, can you answer that?
We have the ones that I sent back on for the 8/3 meeting.
And that's the only one?
No, there was a couple in there. I was good. I was good at that point. Let me just,
Sorry, I was muted. You approved all the previous ones and I had sent them to Deb. These were just the last ones that were sent off to you guys, and it was sent on, I can find out when it was sent.
yeah, if you can shoot me a, you say it was like the 8th? Oh, here we go. Is that them? Meeting minutes from the 6th of July. Is that the correct ones?
These are 8/3 meeting minutes. They were sent on 8/18.
8/18. Let me just pull these up here. 8/17.
Or 8/17, sorry.
8/17. All right.
Yep.
Why don't I have? Now they're not in front of me.
Do you want me to send them to you again?
Yeah. Do you have all of us?
Yep.
Is everybody okay with Kim emailing the minutes just to give one more perusal, just to make sure we're good? Is everybody okay?
That was the one that I was questioning. The first line says it's for meeting minutes 8/3. And then the first line says a public hearing was held remotely 7:30 on July 6th.
Yeah, so that's the only strikeout that I heard back. And I didn't want to go back and forth until we had this meeting because I didn't want to send like 5,000 emails. But Tim's right. It's that part just needs to read August 3rd rather than July 6th.
All right.
We discussed this one, but it wasn't on the agenda, so we didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything with it.
So does anybody have any other comments on it? And we can.
Other than that, because I know that was the only thing that we really got through, and I think that I think that was okay. Because I knew we made that happen. Yeah, zoning board of appeals meeting minutes 7/6. So that was the only one.
Yeah, that was the only strikeout that anyone found.
All right. Everything else seemed fine. And I didn't have anything else to say on it. Is everybody else okay with it?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll do let's see, I got a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes of 8/3 with one strikeout on the date.
All right, Kim, you got that?
Yep.
All right, so with that, I got a motion. Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Again,
I got too late. I got a second on Mr. Tanzi. I need a roll call myself. Yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Senior,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Jr.,
yes,
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Rock and roll. All right, so the meeting minutes are accepted. What else we got here? Approval of meeting minutes, and really that's it.
Mr. Rosa,
Who's that? Name and address for the record, please.
Sherry Valley, 411 Pond Street.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, regarding item 5, can you tell me if Shingle Mill submitted new documentation?
Can't talk about it. We've already passed it over. We can't talk about it.
Can you explain why it was tabled?
Because we basically have nothing to talk about.
Can I assume there's no new documentation?
That's it.
Okay.
Anything else? Nope. Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
I got a motion. Need a second.
Second.
I'm getting Mr. Haynes a
Well-
second. I need a roll call. Myself, yes. Mr. Tanzi,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Senior,
Yes.
Mr. Baker Jr.,
Yes.
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Rock and roll, sir. I appreciate everybody showing up. We'll see you on, what's the next one? 21st?
21st.
6:30.
We'll see you at 6:30 on the 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good evening, everyone.
You're
You too.
also, Mr. Baker. All right, have a good evening. Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night.